with great beer and even better conversations. Welcome to Mind Hops, the podcast with more dad jokes than you can shake an angry fist at.
Sweet Lord, Martha, it's one of those bags again.
Don't step on it, Ted.
It's poop again. I'll get you damn tips for this.
Broadcasting around the world from Ocala, Florida, here are your hosts, Trevor Summers and Jack Brennan.
Welcome to Mind Hops, guys. It's actually just Trin tonight. Jack is out of the studio. He won't be joining us. I do have a awesome guest host / guest for tonight, though. I got Trevor Summers, who's also familiar with the game of podcasting. He's got his own podcast that I'm pretty familiar with called Talking Under the Influence. You can find it on Spotify and many other popular platforms. Welcome, Trevor. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
He's my brother as well. So
Right.
in case I didn't say that, I think I might have said that. So, yes.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming. I'm sad that Jack could not join us tonight, but we shall carry on. This is going to be our 10th episode, which is a pretty big deal, a really big deal, actually. From what my understanding, not many podcasts survive to 10 episodes, so this is a very celebratory situation. I think it's something to be happy about, something to be excited about. So I'm glad to have my brother on for the 10th episode. And we actually just got done watching a movie not too long ago. Why don't you tell us about it, bro? A little bit.
Oh, well, I mean, this is a podcast, right?
Yeah, podcast.
PodKast.
No, I don't. I think it's a C.
Well, this is a podcast
With a K. Oh, yeah.
Because
It's the podcast. This is the
talking-
first podcast episode, actually.
Exactly.
So this isn't the 10th. We haven't got there yet.
Round one. Yeah, we're talking about
Flawless victory.
Mortal Kombat.
Yes, Mortal Kombat. So they just came out with a new movie. You can find it on, I believe it's on HBO Max now. Is it theaters as well?
Yes, it is.
It is in
also
theaters.
Yeah.
People still go to those archaic devices where they sit in chairs and stare at bigger screens.
Yeah. People are still doing
I kind of
it.
feel like it would have been maybe a better experience in a theater, but it was still really good, I think.
Yeah, I mean, people are still driving Dodge Neons too.
Yeah. That's still happening in Corollas. So nothing wrong with that, folks. No shots were not fired there. But I will give you guys a little bit of backstory. Me and my brother have been familiar. I've known the man for 31 years of my life, so we've known each other for a while. Mortal Kombat has always been fighting games. It's one of the top tier for me, for sure. I'm not a huge fighting game fan in normal situations, but Mortal Kombat just has that, that interesting pop, the brutal kills, the brutalities, the interesting characters that kind of draws you in. Even if I was a casual fighting game, connoisseur, I guess you could say. And I kind of jumped into 10, honestly. I played it growing up, but 10 was the one I came back to, and where I kind of jumped back. Me and my brother actually played quite a bit of 10 and 11 now. But enough tangenting. As a movie, I will say I did enjoy it quite a bit. As a fan of just good fighting, choreography, and gore, and the acting was not the top tier. There were some good actors in it, but who are some of the top actors in it, would you say? I recognized one of the guys as a new character. He was in Enter the Badlands, the main character. They introduced a new character into the series. I'm not no spoilers, but if you watch Enter the Badlands, he was kind of like the main dude from that, and I just binged that not too long ago. And I couldn't place my finger on him. I was like, he looked familiar, and then checked out on IMDb, and I was like, yeah, I've seen this guy in something before. And then I realized it was Into the Badlands, which is another great movie. I'm not going to go on a tangent about that, or TV show rather, not a movie, but
like hour-long episodes.
Yeah. It felt like a movie. It was the fights, the choreographies in that show were actually incredible for a TV show.
Yeah. And
I'm kind of sad that it kind of fizzled out before it really had a chance. I mean, it had a couple seasons, but anyway, what are your thoughts on the movie?
Well, like you said, we're huge fans of the game. It was really, we had great memories. As really bad as this is going to sound, we would pregame and play Mortal Kombat 10
Yeah.
Almost every match, we were outmatched because it was like
Yeah.
99, because it gives you percentages pre-game to let you know what your
How
chances are
bad
against your
you are.
opponent.
Yeah.
It was always 99% to 1%, like every
Yeah.
time, because
Yeah.
we just didn't.
Every time.
We joined late.
We got in the game much later than everyone else too, because by the time we started playing it, the game had been out. I don't know, several years, maybe 5+ years. I don't know. It had been out for a while, and yeah, so we would pre-game at our little townhouse before we go out drinking. And sometimes we wouldn't even go out drinking. We would have so much fun pre-gaming and playing Mortal Kombat.
We'd be
We'd
slamming
stay there all night. We'd be blacked
slamming on
out.
Cobras,
Yeah.
like a couple, malt liquors.
Yeah.
$1.46 and
You
an
can't
internet
beat
connection,
that, man.
and it's your night right
You
there.
can't beat that. And fucking Leatherface just bashing people's heads
Oh
on the hammer.
Lord, is that the most brutal one ever?
So the fun thing we like to do, because we never really got too technical, we started to get more technical with the game as we played it. We had our characters, but we would go into matches that we were 99% to lose anyway, and we would go to random character select. And on top of that, like, just throw another raid. We never had any consistency. And we would win some matches, and it was like, oh my God, double shots if you win, round two.
Yeah.
Sometimes we started winning actual full games. And we started getting our characters. He kind of got familiar with Cassie Cage, who's like a daughter of Jackie, or not, of
Sonya
Johnny
Blade.
Cage and
Yeah.
Sonya Blade. Yeah, if you're familiar with if you're familiar with the games, you know who it is anyway. I don't know why I'm explaining it to you. I was the Necromorph, who was from the Alien series. He's a guest character.
Yeah, that's the best guest
He was
character ever.
my favorite. I was actually going to ask you who's your favorite guest character in Mortal Kombat.
He was the coolest one of all time.
Yeah, I mean, I have a biased opinion because he was my go-to, and he had so many cool
Like mine's
moves.
biased from watching you. Like I
Yeah.
just love watching you play because you
Brutalizing people,
Yeah.
sweeping their legs out from it, literally ripping their legs off, and
Spitting acid in their
spitting
faces.
acid, melting them. It was just so cool. I mean, the Predator was in there too, and he's kind of cool. But dude, the Necromorph is just savage. He's just so fast and hard to deal with. Because I could drop people that were much higher skill than me just because I moved so fast, and not a lot of people played the Necromorph, so he was a hard character to deal with. But anyway, I divulge. The movie, I would say, as a Mortal Kombat fan, I would probably give it as a really strong Mortal Kombat fan, which I do appreciate Mortal Kombat a lot. There were a lot of nods to the games and stuff. I would say it's an 8 for me as a super Mortal Kombat fan. But if I was not a huge Mortal Kombat fan, I'd probably give it a 7. If I was just going into it with no previous knowledge or no really appreciation for the world building that Mortal Kombat has kind of done.
I would kind of give it. I would give it an 8, but I would say you would have a better experience with it probably if you didn't have the knowledge.
You think so?
Yeah, because like the things that I had the most complaints about were things that I wouldn't have even known about had I not known about the world.
Okay. I guess I can kind of see that at certain points. For me, I feel like I appreciate it. I overlooked some of the things that bothered me more because of
There's some of that there too.
I love the source material and I want it to do well, and I just appreciated certain details. But I think either way, 7 or 8, that's a pretty solid score, especially for a video game movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And compared to the originals, that really did. I thought the first movie was great, and the second one was still good in its way. But they got shit on so bad. They were coined as one of the worst video game movies ever. Which when you got like movies like Mario,
Oh my god.
I feel like there's much worse.
Leguizamo.
Yeah, John Lasagna, as I like to call him. Terrible.
I'm the pest.
And then the other guy, I don't even know he's been in movies. He's an Italian guy, but who cares about him, And then you had fucking the Koopa. Wasn't even Bowser. Did he play Bowser? Yeah, he might have been Bowser. It was fucking Dennis Hopper, I think, with slick back hair.
Super terrible.
Really weird. Like Bowser as Dennis Hopper with slick back hair. How does that
What video
thing?
game movies are there?
There's actually quite a few. I'm kind of drawing a blank right now because it's like I'm on the spot. They had a lot of fighting game ones. Street Fighter had one. It had
John Claude Van Damme.
he was Bison.
And Bison.
No,
he was Guile, actually.
Yeah. I think he played in Bison in one of the movies too. Maybe not. I think you're right. I think it was Guile. There was an older guy that played in Bison.
I just remember his blue and white camo pants that he was
wearing. You're right. I think he was Guile. I don't know if he had the little mohawk thing.
No, he
didn't.
He just had like a little chain necklace with a dog tag on it.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure they made a Tekken movie. I'm pretty sure that was a really bad movie. They made a Dead or Alive movie. I did watch that. That was not very good either.
No, that was terrible.
Really bad. They were like on an island, which I haven't played much Dead or Alive. I'm not sure. I think it does take place on an island of some sort.
Resident Evil.
That was one of the ones that people thought was better. Blood Rain. Yeah. I don't know if you remember those. Those were the U-Bowl guy that was notorious for making tons of horrible video game movies. Yeah. He made like House of the Dead.
Yeah,
that was another one
too, man.
And that source material, it's an arcade game. It was fun to like when you're a kid and stuff, but it's like, well, you can make a movie off that. A zombie shooting game. It's not something. Like, remember Carnival at the arcade?
That was great.
Laundromat.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was fun. Yeah, but can you imagine making a movie off of Carnival?
Like if I had all those quarters back.
Carnival.
If I had the quarters I spent on Carnival back today.
And you'd invested it in Dogecoin.
I would buy the Dogecoin.
The Dogecoin.
And I would probably be a billionaire.
You'd be like Elon Musk right now.
I would get my Lambo and I'd be gone.
You'd be flying your Tesla into space. Yeah. Like the Muskrat himself.
My fucking space car.
Your space car.
I'd be a musketeer.
You'd be flying to the moon.
Yeah.
So I got some kind of funny news stories. We're talking about fighting here. So I got some kind of funny news stories. They're just like bloopers, kind of news story bloopers, and you can kind of go through them and just kind of see what we think about them. Let's see here if I can cue it up.
Slamming some of this proper 12.
Oh yes, proper 12 when I'm slamming some Yukon Jack.
Will you shut up? Will you give it to me again, please? God damn it! Just start it from the beginning.
These are two newscasters. I know you don't got
Don't tell me to shut up, asshole. I can't hear.
This is legit?
This is from the 80s. Yeah, this is like very old. You can tell it's like from the 80s or 90s.
Gotta go now. I want to thank you both. Thank you. All right, it's back to you, Jim.
Ollie, don't let her go away. That's what. Does she have a response to that? Is she still there?
What's that?
Did the lady just leave?
Yeah.
Oh, that's too bad. We should have kept that discussion.
She's back if you want her.
Yes.
The newscaster talking to the guy in the field.
I'd like to know a response to what the gentleman said. The gentleman's a very effective spokesperson for the company, but obviously the people who live there are not satisfied with his explanation.
Right. So what do you want now?
Well, if I have to teach you how to be a reporter, Ollie, I'll do that later.
Why don't you do that later, Jim? I think the lady expressed herself.
Burn.
And you're not
Damn,
here.
he's throwing shade
Is
like
there
a
any question
motherfucker.
you'd like me to ask?
Major shade.
No, I'll give you lessons on how to become a reporter later.
Well, I'll give you some lessons on how to be an editor because I was your boss once.
Oh, shit.
No longer. How did that happen?
Filled in with some air, not as lower pressure, but
Two disgruntled old men, you can tell.
Translate that for us. I don't know what that means. What does
Weatherman.
If you would let me talk.
عن الانحراف المنحرف هو الذي
This was a little hard to translate. It's clearly some Israeli news story or something. But these old men are arguing around a table. I really wish you guys could see this, but they're arguing around a table, and they're about to lift the table. And they're still fighting over team. Any people that speak Israeli or whatever, probably this is gonna be a hilarious conversation. Maybe you can send the translation.
It's gonna reach like 1% of viewers. Holy shit, they tore the table apart. What are they gonna do with that part?
They're pushing against each other. It's like a tug of war over a table in the middle of them.
Here, what's going on?
Look up. That was great.
They straight up threw it up.
Don't look at me like I'm crazy every time I ask you a question like
You
that.
said, do you smell? And I'm like,
Because it smells like orange blossoms.
Oh, got it. Yeah.
Where did you think I meant?
I smell your hairspray mainly. I didn't want to say that.
That's the
But
most important thing I'm told.
you forced me
Yikes.
into a corner.
That's all. The email I get is all about my hair, so sorry.
Please check-
Like you don't have any product?
Well, please don't ever touch me again.
Too late. Makes me very nervous. That's what you get for coming out into my space.
Had a feeling. Yep.
Okay. Oh,
It is
All right,
so
you can
About weather? I don't know. If it strikes you.
feel
talking
the
about weather.
awkwardness.
You can see the forecast today. What do you see?
Sunshine. Enjoy Colorado.
gorgeous.
Changes are coming. Done.
A
Look at
cumulus
that.
cloud?
We
Now,
don't
where
know.
do I pick up Kathy Saban's paycheck?
Holy shit.
Some of your critics will
Wow,
say,
this is Mike Tyson, by the way. talking
you
to
know you're a convicted rapist. This could hurt his campaign. How would you respond to that?
You come across like a nice guy, but you're really a piece of shit.
Hey,
with that
come
comment.
on.
No, that was a piece of fuck you. That was a piece of shit.
You know, we're doing
translation.
I don't care.
Piece of shit.
Is it nerve-wracking for you to do something like this, or is it more nervous for you to box? How does it compare?
I don't know.
He's about to box this guy.
Me here is talking to a rat piece of shit like you.
Come on. All right, we're gonna wrap up this interview. Thank you for coming.
Fuck you.
Oh my God! He knows he didn't get too aggressive. He was like, this motherfucker will tear my head off.
Yeah, he's a rat piece of shit. Piece of shit. Piece of shit. All right, there's an Italian. This is an Italian one. This might be hard for you guys too. This guy's getting hit by a cameraman or something. He's spazzing. I'm not sure.
In Space Jam.
Well, we actually. Oh, you mad because I already read that? I'm sorry.
How's Steph Curry's knee?
He's nursing it, and it's getting better.
Mm-hmm. How long have we been friends? 23 years.
I didn't know you were going to do it.
Have you ever, and I'm going to say this with a smile, ever heard me say right before you came on, there's an irrigation problem in Gilroy?
Well, you have to talk to Cassine.
You ever heard me say, oh, it's warm weather today?
I love them just putting their shit out
in my lane.
On the air.
And it just...
Stay in your lane.
You got to talk to Cassine.
I like Cassine.
Yeah.
So don't try and pit me against the producer.
Well, he gave me that lovely script.
And and it's hard for me to get mad. Catherine has stayed at my mother's home.
Oh my God.
She's written my mother notes and stolen my material.
Oh my God.
Anyway, how is Curry's knee?
Improving. LeBron was very good in Trainwreck, so this will be fun. Okay, I shouldn't have brought it up.
Yeah.
What's going on?
She was trying to roll with it.
She was.
She was trying.
Oh man, that was just. I love when you see the newscast. They got their teleprompters, and then when shit doesn't go exactly the way they need it to go, like they have no idea how to react, and they're just like, oh shit.
Yeah, they're like, I'm sure they have some kind of training for that. You know what I mean?
You would
like,
think.
And something goes crazy, just smile and
just smile, and you see that sometimes too. Yeah, the finger gun, and then the camera's on them for like 20 seconds, and 30 seconds, and 40 seconds. They're like, oh shit, they didn't train me for this.
Don't break the finger gun. Smile.
You're like,
you got to do it the whole hour long. Just stare at that fucking
Marlene, the producer's gonna come in and save you.
Yeah,
or whatever.
Pretend like the screen's frozen, and then maybe they'll think it's their TV.
Yeah, they think there's artifacting going on or something like that. Yeah, with technology advancing, though, I don't think that bullshit works quite as much anymore.
It used to be easier to schlub shit off in the day.
I know. That's kind of what we're doing right now. This whole podcast is.
Thank God that it's not live.
It isn't live. I could edit all the dead air out of this episode.
Right.
But that takes way too much time, and I'm not going to do that. So
it's dead air, schmed air.
Schmed air.
Dead air.
No,
this fucking
it's not.
This is solid gold. Years
solid
of fucking training and professionalism.
Yeah. And alcohol.
Right.
Fuels us.
And then hours of preparation.
Weeks. I spend weeks getting these shows together.
I feel like we should have a newsworthy argument on air.
Yeah. I grew up with your mother.
Yeah. Like
your mother was my mother.
Trunton.
When I was a kid, you stole comic books from me.
Trunton. Well, I mean, it's not like anybody just pegged me in the eye with a fucking solid metal Matchbox card.
Oh, and it's not like somebody just grabbed me and threw me into a closet that was 3 times the size of me when I was 9 years old, and you were
have to set the law down.
15 years old. 15 years old.
You have to let people know I'm in charge. That's what you do.
Okay, yeah, we won't go into that.
Awkward.
Yeah.
Okay.
This portion
that was not even a good one, but it was a good attempt.
We've got lots of material we could draw on. We're just not gonna go that dark.
Right.
We're gonna keep it lighthearted, guys.
This is Mind Hops.
This isn't talking under the influence.
No, it's not.
If it was talking under the influence, we go much darker, folks.
Darker, yeah.
Way darker.
Yeah.
But anyway, back on to the track that we are going, which is not a track at all. It's one of those loop-de-loops, like on a roller coaster. You have no idea where you're going.
Hey, Jack, whenever you hear this, just know, right now, while you're not here, we're rolling this show up into a fucking ball of garbage and lighting it on fire.
Yeah. All that progress down the tubes. So Elon Musk, I hear you're a big investor Trevor here. You're a big investor in the cryptocurrencies lately.
Well, this is Trevor's Investor Corner.
Yeah, give
Trevor's
me some
Corner.
tips on investing, because I'm not much of an investor. What's the markets looking like right now? By the way,
I'm really not an investor.
All right, let's talk about Elon Musk. Fuck it, that guy's he's a
Tesla
enigma, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he puts people into space. He with the word of the
twiddle of a thumb,
the finger twiddle on top of some keyboards. He can make a tweet and fluctuate billions of dollars.
Billions of dollars, yeah. Cryptocurrency becomes the new big thing. Made out of nothing, complete thin air, right? A meme.
Yeah,
meme coin.
Dogecoin
just jumped up.
Or Doge. Yeah, Dogecoin. Fucking
like 400% in a matter of minutes.
Yeah.
In one day. Fluctuate. Yeah.
There's a bunch of fucking
great people who will be listening to
you guys are killing it with that.
Yeah, it's like I hate to say Robinhood, because then I'm not referencing that fucking app that we all know about, the controversy with Robinhood. You know about that?
Not really.
All right.
Well, they tried to shut it down when people were buying
GameStop stuff. They wouldn't let them sell it, and they wouldn't let them buy it. There was like a whole thing where they locked people out of their accounts for a long time, and kind of helped the hedge fund people out. I think. I don't invest, guys. I really don't have any blood in the game, so to speak. But anyway, yeah, like a Robinhood type situation where you get the people who aren't hedge fund owners and high value investors that are still making a buck here and there on these cryptocurrencies. I think it's great. I think it's an awesome thing to see that happening, and I hope it continues to do that. But I have not gotten involved. I probably should have.
Crypto,
I don't know enough.
Is going up, really. To be honest, everything kind of travels with Bitcoin, kind of in the same patterns.
Yeah.
So when Bitcoin is going up, like all of the cryptos are going up, some more than others. I'm definitely no investor or not worthy of giving any advice, but
you should.
I've been making some money.
You have a microphone, so I think you should give us some advice. Yeah.
Oh no, I can't give you advice.
All right, don't give us any advice.
Yeah, I will definitely make people mad at us because I'll be like, buy, and then everyone will be broke and bad.
Hey, you know what?
They're gonna be like, you know what? We listened to that show, and now
you know what makes it good though? If you have a suit that has like dollar bills on it or something, and you scream into the microphone, you're okay. Or if you have like you're balding, and you're like, just sell it all, buy. You scream and make weird noises,
and then you have like a bell to ring.
You ring a bell. All will be forgiven. All will be forgiven because people that's on me for listening to this lunatic with a bell and he's screaming into the screen. Like, I should have known that it was a sketchy move. You know what I mean?
Oh, Jim Cramer.
You let that guy slide because he's a lunatic.
He gets him right though. He calls him how
I don't know if he does or not because I don't invest. I just watch his videos and I'm like, man, this guy's really enthusiastic about what he's doing. You know, he's ringing bells. He's flipping around.
He makes it entertaining. He entertains and educates.
I don't even invest, and I'm like, man, I can't wait to see what he's wearing next week.
You might have a heart attack.
That would be brilliant. Yeah. Can I invest in that? Is there a stock for Jim Cramer having a heart attack?
There's probably a place you can bet on it.
Like in Vegas somewhere?
Probably. Yeah. There's got to be Deadpool.
Put me down for like $50 on him having a heart attack.
Isn't that what that's called? The Deadpool? Like everyone puts money on who's going to die next. And
what if he just had a heart attack on June 27th right now? How crazy would that be?
That would be bizarre.
The show would probably blow up, and I might be under arrest. I might disappear.
If anyone hears it?
This whole everything might get scrubbed off the internet.
Oh my god!
All right, well, you got to carry on the legacy.
We should have a Deadpool, bro.
A Deadpool?
Yeah, we should get one going. Like, we should each pick somebody.
Should we get our listeners involved too?
Yeah, sure.
And have them involved in it?
It doesn't even have to be fucking like a real celebrity. If we both know him, that would be the
like an actual Deadpool.
It could be like a real
family
person,
members and stuff.
Yeah, it could. Well, yeah. No, let's put family members off because I just don't want to put the voodoo on them. You know
we know about voodoo. We don't want to get that on us.
No.
But if you know someone that knows voodoo, is that cheating? Kind of the Deadpool. I feel like that's coercing the market.
I think I know who you might be talking about, but.
Yeah,
I think it plays, man.
It plays?
Yeah, I think it's fun.
All right, we might have to
send
some Facebook messages here in a little bit. And
it's got to be in some degree of murder, though, I think.
Actual murder?
It's kind of, if you know someone that knows voodoo and you try
I feel like you don't. I feel like you can't do that. I feel like that's cheating. That's coercing the market. I think you should get jail time just for insider trading.
Yeah, it's like Martha Stewart shit.
Yeah, you should be getting a cell with Martha Stewart. Some kicks. And she'd be like, "This is what happened to me. I got,
She actually partnered up with this huge cannabis company.
Really? I know that I've seen her with Snoop Dogg somehow involved with Snoop Dogg. I figured there was some weed involved.
They're making dog treats, like cannabis, CBD dog treats. And she's the poster child heading that product. Martha Stewart, CBD dog treats.
Man, put that on a T-shirt. Probably has already been done, and it's probably copyrighted. So
everything is
you're right. T-shirt. Simpsons have done it.
You have no idea how many T-shirts I've seen, and
I'm sure.
It's a lot.
We're about to make some awesome ones.
I hope
for talking under influence and mind hops. We got some exciting stuff coming up in the future.
Man, swag.
Swag is the best, isn't it?
Yeah.
Swag is awesome. I love things like things that I would wear. And I know it's a stereotypical thing to say, but if it's like a product or a logo that I wouldn't wear, I would not want that as my logo. You know what I mean? Like something that you don't represent or something you wouldn't wear, you should never push as your brand or something that represents you. Like, this is not going to work. I mean, it works for people, but it's just like, why would you do that?
I don't know. Maybe you like collect beer koozies. And you got to have them all.
People have weird collection. Yeah, but that's not their brand, and they're just that's what they do.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's true.
I wouldn't have a brand and be like, well, I'm just creating this because no one else has this koozie yet. You know what I mean?
That's true. Yeah.
So I don't know. I know people do it for profit and stuff like that, but when it's something you have a little bit of passion for, which I feel like I do for what I do, I mean, you kind of have to, especially getting started.
If somebody paid me to wear their shit, I probably would.
Yeah, but that's different.
Unless I hated them, and then it would, the hate wouldn't be worth.
What about if it was like some of these YouTubers, these like Logan Pauls or whatever? Didn't he fight somebody? Yeah, I think he fought somebody recently. I don't know.
Yeah, fuck them. I'm not gonna wear that shit.
They can be kind of annoying, trash, but. Some of them aren't bad.
It's whatever.
Everybody's
got to get their fucking walnut. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was a squirrel reference. Got to get your nut.
Could it be?
It wasn't sexual at all. It was just.
It could be
strictly
if you want it to be
squirrel related.
You got to get your nut.
Just getting your nuts. You got to get the nut, and then you got to store it away for winter.
Or you just leave it on the floor.
Everyone's got to get that nut.
You gotta get that. Everyone does need to get that nut.
Again, not sexual. This is not sexual.
Like a sustenance. They need to survive. They need this to survive. So kind of like getting your nut.
Everyone needs a nut to survive.
Yeah, they do.
To get area in the ground for winter.
To get along in life.
Again, not sexual.
You gotta get your nut. Yeah. I think that should be on a shirt too.
Yeah. If you want to go long.
And then you say,
if you want to go long.
Not sexual in quotations on the back. With a squirrel with his hands like moving outwards, like not sexual. He's got two nuts in his mouth.
I am not a pervert.
I'm not a pervert. I have normal consensual sex, and I don't talk about it.
Strictly missionary.
I'm Christian. I'm a good Christian squirrel.
Only missionary twice a week, scheduled the week before.
Yeah, we got to make sure it's going to line up with both of us.
Right. Well, we schedule it based on when
prayer study
is. The sheet wash day is.
Oh, okay.
So you do it the last day before the sheet wash day because you don't want to get brand new clean sheets.
No, you don't want to stain them. Yeah,
right. With the seed,
you can definitely tell that this man has been in a relationship for a while. He's got the whole pattern down. That's okay. That's good. I remember those days.
You know the standard sheet day.
Yeah, I'm a bachelor right now, so
the smell of clean sheets gets my.
The days of my sheet washing are dictated strictly on my own decision.
Or how lazy you are.
Or how lazy, which is very lazy.
Trust me, I'm aware of that lifestyle as well.
Yeah, I've been living that one for a little bit. But there's nothing wrong with either one, I think both lifestyles everyone can probably relate to.
Disclaimer, we do have occasional spontaneous intercourse. Just to know. It's not all, June
it's not all planned out.
June and Ward Cleaver over here.
Which is interesting because you mentioned that. You know how a lot of people, I was watching a thing about this the other day. I don't know where it came from. It was probably a YouTube video or something. But they were talking about shows in that time period with June and Ward Cleaver, the Leave It to Beaver. They actually referenced that. how like I think they call it the nuclear family, or like the classic family, that families weren't actually like that at that time period. They weren't like that, but that they were dictated from the shows. People like learned to be like that when they watched these shows about these perfect families, but families were not like that.
Brady Bunch.
Right. Yeah. Which is kind of makes common sense when you think about it, but when you're living so many generations away from it and you didn't grow up in that time period, you just kind of assume like, oh, well, the shows dictated this, so that's the way people were. Well, they really weren't. That's the way people kind of fell into.
Like, for instance, I just got an idea for a show that just popped like lightning bolt into my head, right?
Okay, tell me.
So, we got the Brady Bunch, right?
Yeah.
What's the mother's name in the Brady Bunch?
Oh, man. I'm kind of drawing a blank on that. I don't really know a lot of the names of the Brady Bunch.
It doesn't matter. It's
okay. It's not June Cleaver.
So, like, she has a shitload of kids, right?
Yeah, she's got 4.
And then, like, he's got a shitload of kids.
I think he's got 4.
So they're both, like, damaged goods. Like, how did they even meet each other?
Yeah.
With their busy schedules, running their kids around.
And they all had the same, like, one had 4 boys and one had 4 girls, right?
That was super weird.
How was that?
What if they all started fucking each other?
That was a scientific
Like, it could happen.
Yeah.
Because they're not blood.
Have you guys seen Red Tube? Seen all the step porn on it? How did they not get involved in something with 4 and 4, and they were all like around the same ages?
I'm your brother.
I bet you there's.
Brother.
I don't know for sure, but I bet you there's Brady Bunch step porn out there.
Thing going, we could look it up.
We could play it.
I wasn't going to go that far. But
all right.
Also, like we're talking about, there has to be a baby daddy and a baby mama to this situation, right?
I didn't watch a lot of the show, but I don't remember like them popping in and out of their life and making their life hell.
Never.
Like I feel like it would have happened.
That's what I'm saying.
They would have been constantly causing trouble between the relationships. Yes. Always.
We relaunch the Brady Bunch, but we add the baby mama drama
and the baby daddy
drama.
So what kind
and then you also add the awkwardness between a whole bunch of like fucking teenage girls and a whole bunch of teenage boys just introducing and living in the same house out of nowhere. And let's spice this motherfucker up and do like a modern day Brady Bunch.
That would be out of this world, bro. I think it would be too much. I don't know if we can handle it. It's 2021 though. I think we can handle it now.
How do you get on Shark Tank? Can you pitch a movie on Shark Tank?
I think so. I think Mark Cuban will buy anything if it's interesting.
Fucking A, right?
Hey, Mark Cuban, if you're listening to this,
dude,
we got a great idea for you. Modern day Brady Bunch.
And you can even have
it's gonna be so dysfunctional.
Yeah, you can have like
they're gonna be isolating right now.
Cameo or something in it to give it some credibility. They need money. It would
any of the surviving ones.
Yeah, they'll be like I'm the neighbor, and then like not even really be on the show.
They can be the grandfather.
Just add credibility.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking back to that. Like, what a piece of shit mother, for one, to have 4 children and not have anything to do with them in their lives. Usually, you expect the dad to be a piece of shit, deadbeat, and not have anything to do with the kids. But the mother and the dad on both sides being deadbeats?
I'm actually going to, like, on my phone, do a little research.
I think we should. We don't want to shit on too hard.
I feel like maybe they were introduced in the show. Maybe they died. Like, maybe that's what happened. Like,
maybe they got in a car accident simultaneously with peanut butter and one had jelly. And then they created sandwiches, too. Or maybe it was their blood. I don't know.
Maybe they both got cancer. Maybe
could have been ass cancer.
Maybe they're away at war. I don't know. I'm gonna look it up right now.
You should look it up because I think before we completely shit on the mouths of all the people who love the Brady Bunch and the creators of it, we should do a little research to make sure we're not, because that does seem really odd. It's a really odd thing I never thought about, because even in like Leave It to Beaver, like you didn't have any of those type of situations. The worst situation was like, you were out too late, and then you got to see Dad in his study. You know.
Yeah, what happens in there?
I don't know.
You know, it's always funny when June tells Ward to stop being so hard on the beaver.
Yeah, stop being so hard on the beeve, as she says, the beeve.
Stop being so hard on the beeve.
The beeve, yeah.
There's no way
abbreviated it.
They didn't think about that.
Oh, I would think so. Okay. We might need to research that too and see when beaver became a common analysis for the female genitalia.
Okay, this is ridiculous. Okay, this is really crazy that this is. So apparently, in 1996, there was a movie called The Very Brady Sequel. The movie's plot is centered around Carol Brady's first husband. One evening, a man claiming to be Carol's long-lost first husband, Roy Martin, shows up at the suburban Brady residence.
One evening.
Right.
30 years later.
Yeah. He is actually a con man named Trevor Thomas.
Oh my God. Were you involved in this?
And
what's your real last name?
He is there to Trevor Thomas, and is there to steal their familiar horse statue that is actually a $20 million ancient.
Oh my God. This is absurd.
But that doesn't explain it.
No, it doesn't explain.
Actually, so the real husband just said "fuck you,"
and she didn't know that wasn't the real husband. That's how estranged she was of this Trevor Thomas. She's like, "Oh, you look like the guy that banged me and had 4 children with me."
Okay, here we go. It is revealed at the end of the movie that Carol's first husband actually died at sea on an expedition.
Ah, that poor bastard. Or lucky for him because he had a lot of kids. Yeah. Wait, what happened to the mom, though? The other side of the situation.
Well, so far, okay. We learned in the first episode that Mike's wife passed away. However, the absence of Carol's first husband remained. Okay, so they both died, turns out.
Oh, but we didn't know about the husband until recently.
Right.
That
one came about
in a movie.
In
later.
The sequel to the first movie.
Wait, so we were revealed that he died at sea, but then she didn't realize that was not this other guy that was going to steal this horse statue. How do you not know your husband?
That also leaves a question that...
And it's not like you have a one-night stand and have 4 children.
Did he go on like a sea expedition and just never came back? And she was like, I wonder what happened to him. Well, I got to find a daddy for these babies.
She didn't even research to find out.
You didn't get closure on the fact that your husband was dead. The father
you
of
didn't
your
know
4 daughters.
4 kids. You should know a person pretty well by then.
Yeah.
I feel like you could notice their face even after a few years. Be like, this isn't the guy that put 4 kids into me.
Right, nuclear schnuclear.
This guy's trying to steal my horse statue.
What would have happened?
That's worth $20 million.
What would have happened if it really was her husband? Would Mike have to just fuck off then?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. He was kind of a deadbeat. He was gone at sea for... You think he got stranded for their entire life?
I mean, maybe. I don't know.
That's a long time.
He would have had to have an explanation.
Maybe back then you could easily get stranded. They didn't have GPS and stuff.
Furthermore, how did they get a rare artifact horse statue at the
and
house?
Not know? I guess they don't have an Antique Roadshow in that part of the town.
I got to watch that movie now.
I know. We need to do it.
We got to watch the
first we might have to do a review on that. You might have to come back and we'll have to revisit this very Brady conversation we're having.
A half work day tomorrow. When I go home, I'm going to have to spend it watching.
You got to find this.
Movies.
You might have to buy it on Amazon.
Surely it's on HBO Max or something.
Maybe HBO, not a sponsor, but it could be.
HBO Max.
That is actually where you can find the new Mortal Kombat movie and the King Kong vs. Godzilla, which I haven't seen that, so no spoilers on that one either.
And I don't want to rip off any of the taglines from Mortal Kombat, so I'll just be like,
"Get over here,
come hither."
Oh shit! Sorry, I'll have to edit that out.
Yeah, come hither.
Come hither.
If Scorpion was in old
medieval times,
old English times.
Would he send a raven with a note to them that says "Come hither"? And they're like, "Ah, shit! I must oblige."
No, yeah.
The Kingsman requests my presence, and then they walk over like, "Ah, shit! He got me again with the sword." I thought it was going to be something different that happened this time.
Come hither. Under such formal request, I cannot deny a gentleman. I shall be right there.
That would be an interesting... Sub-Zero would be really handy back then because they didn't have freezers or refrigerators. You could just
Yeah, no shit.
You could be dumping buckets all day long, making icicles.
Dumping buckets.
Yeah, but that's weakness. This is a spoiler. If you haven't seen the first Mortal Kombat.
Well, if you haven't seen the first one, then fuck you. I'm sorry. Turn it off now. Spoiler alert. From a movie that came out when I was 3.
Yeah. So 30 years ago, basically, at this point.
Well, 35.
Yeah, we'll just round down to 30. It's easier that way. Yeah, you throw a bucket of water at him, dude, and he will freeze the water unintentionally and icicle himself to death.
Liu Kang.
That was a lot. Okay, so going back to the first movie, because we can talk about that. There's not a lot of spoilers.
Right.
I mean, there is spoilers, but it's been out for fucking 30 plus years. There were a couple deaths in that movie, and I'm not going to talk about the new movie, but that I will say there's a couple characters that kind of got bullshitted a little bit that shouldn't have died the way they did. That's all I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to say who or what. But the first movie, thinking back, I kind of just reignited that to me. Sub-Zero had a death like that. He got a bucket of water thrown at him that he was apparently had to channel an orb of ice to throw his signature ice move. and I think Liu Kang threw a bucket of water at him, right? And then it turned into icicles and like fell back, like backfired on him and like severed, like just completely annihilated him.
For the record, if the casting time on that spell was that long in game,
you would be fucking
You would never,
done.
ever play Sub-Zero.
No, it was a very long time. And then Goro kind of fucking got tricked off a cliff. He just walked off a cliff.
Yeah, but it was worth it.
It was stylish, though. It was very stylish, the way he's like, those are $300 sunglasses, you asshole.
Which was a lot back then.
Yeah, that was a lot. Yeah, and he kicked him in the... That was like Oakley status. He like kicked him on the head and fell down. Those were two kind of bullshitty deaths. And then I feel like there was more in it. Oh, in the sequel, we got Rain, who was killed immediately after
reporting the news that he had
killing
killed
two other contestants.
Of Earth Realms
Cabal and Stryker. Yeah, two of their best fighters.
Right.
And he did not make them beg for their lives. So he ends up getting fucking dropped into a pit and murdered.
Hammered into the fire and off to the nether realm he goes.
Yeah, that was disappointing. Yeah. And then Johnny Cage dying. At the
oh my god, talk about the biggest fucking injustice of anything.
Yeah, you got Injustice, the fighting game, and then you have this Injustice.
Johnny Cage getting his neck.
What if they just made a game
into the movie
called Unjustice, and it was those characters that got Jewed out of all the movies.
But you know the guy who was playing Johnny and that looked like such a fucking douchebag that I almost am glad he died rather than
it wasn't the guy from the first movie.
No, he was
they
terrible.
Got somebody else.
He was terrible.
Because the guy in the first movie had other obligations. And I think that's why they unfortunately had to kill him off at the beginning because they couldn't get the same guy. Yeah. But it's like, man, he was so good in the first movie.
Sonya was different too though, and they didn't kill her.
Yeah.
Like she was way worse. The original Sonya was
better. You're right. Yep, I think they had the same Liu Kang though.
Yeah, that's the only one.
Yeah, and Raiden was different too.
Yeah, Raiden was changed. The only one that was returned was Liu Kang.
Liu Kang.
Yeah.
He didn't have anything else going on at the time.
And he was actually
he was a decent one.
Yeah,
he was good.
If they wouldn't have had him in that, it would have fell right to the floor.
Yeah, and I'm not a fan of Liu Kang. I've never been a fan of Liu Kang. I always thought he's a kind of overused character, kind of douchey.
I'm not a fan of him either, but the story, he's the protagonist. You know what I mean? Not forever, though. He gets his due. In the games, he actually gets murdered and turned into a revenant.
Yeah, but then, spoiler, he comes back in 11 and does big shit.
He does big shit. I mean, he does. I mean, let's just face it. Liu Kang fucks. He's the one that fucks.
He becomes a god.
Yeah, literally. Fire god Liu Kang.
Literally recreates the universe.
And then he becomes even more powerful than that. And then is like the new time god.
Yeah.
Like,
he's an outer god type bullshit. Yeah. So, anyway, Mortal Kombat, good stuff. Check it out if you're not a fan or if you never checked it out. Even if you don't like fighting games, the movie definitely worth a watch. Solid action flick through and through. Wouldn't you say?
I would say it was. Yeah, I gave it an 8 all around.
Yeah, we've already talked about that, but yeah, I don't know. It's just fighting games have been kind of our. We grew up playing a lot of fighting games. I remember Ballerina Toshinden was kind of like the first fighting game I've ever played.
Oh yeah,
that was on PlayStation 1. That was an interesting one. And speaking of PlayStation 1, there's all kinds of, fun retro games. It's like games, I don't know, I hate to say it, but it's almost like games aren't, like, they're not made like they used to be. Like, I know I hear that kind of stuff all the time, but, for example, like, you remember fucking Soul Reaver? I think that was PlayStation 1.
It was good.
That was in the demo discs, they don't really do demo discs anymore. You could play so many. I remember playing Medieval on PlayStation 1, the demo, and like just playing over and over the demo, and just like, oh, this is so fucking cool.
But now you can just download them, and you can play the whole game now for like $6 a month. You know what I mean?
Well, they have the streaming services and stuff.
Yeah. Your tips and tricks isn't really necessary.
No, you don't need that. You can get it online.
Something about that paperback.
You lose that mystical ability. It's like it's not so magical anymore. The internet kind of ruined that for everything. Because now it's like
cheat codes and those fucking things.
Yeah, now it's like you can get everything in the touch of a fingertip, but it kind of ruins the enjoyment
Think
of
about it. You used to have to discover a game.
Yes.
You had to play it through and through.
Or find it on a demo disc.
Inch to inch to find secrets and do things that people didn't know.
Yeah.
And then
Twisted
when
Metal,
found out
you had to drive off a ledge
like,
to
you
find
know how you found out about secrets? through fucking like
friends or someone.
Tales of like, oh, I know a guy that did this, and then he made
at school on playgrounds.
Like, nah, bullshit. Oh yeah, I can do it or whatever. How do you do it? Everyone starts coming up with their own little combos, and like eventually you figure one out, and it's like the gods have opened the sky to you. Like you feel like a god. You have secret knowledge.
You're like an Illuminati, part of the Illuminati.
Remember that fighting game that was like Mortal Kombat, but it was
on Sega,
a super ripoff of it.
It was on Sega.
Yeah, it had a black guy with like laser eyes. That
like
was
Cyclops.
He looked like the guy from Reading Rainbow. Though.
Yes, the guy from Star Trek.
Yes,
the guy that was on Reading Rainbow that played the guy in Star Trek.
Yes.
I can't think of his name, but I know exactly what you're talking about. Yes. Yeah, and then you had the guy that was like saber-tooth looking guy. He had like claws.
There was stage fatalities though if you killed him in the exact right spot.
And they were weird. It was like time traveling. Like there was like a level where there was like dinosaurs and shit, and like T-Rex would eat somebody. The space. There's like a helicopter level where you could like knock someone in a helicopter like on a skyscraper. Ah man, I can't remember the name of that game.
Hours fighting and killing people in every inch of the map,
and finding the different ways to do things.
Oh man, that was fun.
Do you remember Biomutants?
Yeah.
On N64, that game was kind of forgettable. It was kind of shit.
Yeah.
But it was another one of those weird 3D fighting games.
What was good on Sega though was Mutant League games, like Mutant League Hockey, Mutant League Football.
Those were the best sports game. I'm not a huge fan of like any sports game, but NBA Jam games were good too, like the arcadey ones where you could like fucking flaming dunk on people
from downtown.
Yeah,
he's on fire.
Sweet Pea.
Yeah,
Sweet Pea
was man, that was like Charles Barkley's NBA or Street Ball.
Yeah. But the Mutant League games were amazing. You had Mutant League Football. Actually, no, did they have Mutant League Football? They had a hockey.
They had football.
Well, they had a game called Pigskin Football, I think.
Right.
And that was a different game, but it was similar. It's very similar to Mutant League, where you would be on the field and you would like get into brawls. You get like rope, like Garrett string rope, and you get in a brawl with the guy and like choke him out and kill him, and you just like killing different people on their team. And then if your team got beat so bad, they would have an ogre. Like
the ogre.
Yeah, you get an ogre on your team. But then if you go even worse, you get 2 ogres on your team. It was fucking, and the ogres were bad. Like
that one, second ogre, the skinny ogre with the black hair. The first one's bald.
Yeah,
the skinny ogre with the black hair looked just like our dad.
He beat the shit out of everyone on the field.
Menacing.
Yeah.
He stomped through the fucking field in tidy whities and beat against the waist.
Extra terrifying for us, for sure.
Man,
but
that was scary.
Those games were so good. But like the retro games were awesome. You remember Nightmare Creatures? At all?
Yes.
It was like you're following Aleister Crowley.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I didn't even realize looking back now. It's like Crowley's like a satanic fucking the Church of Satanism. You know, like a real scary name.
Yeah.
And he's like this crazy guy in a laboratory. He's like creating all these monsters, and you can pick like a chick or a dude, and the dude had like this little staff, and he had this like robe, and you're like walking down the streets of London, and it's like all gothic looking, and you have these werewolves and like these weird creepy like Frankenstein monsters. Like the atmosphere was so. I remember playing that game as a kid and just being kind of like shitting my pants. The music and then like at the time the graphics were like really fucking.
It's like werewolves and shit.
Yeah, werewolves and there's like these blue dudes with like big arms and shit, and there's like weird tentacle monsters that would come out of the ground. It's like Cthulhu type weirdness. That was a great game.
Oh man, it was.
There's all kinds of just.
There's a bunch of Mortal Kombat clones over the years. I'm trying to research this and find this right now.
Okay, I remember the Sega one was like it was called like New Mutant.
A timeline of Mortal Kombat ripoffs from the 1990s.
Okay, this should be good because I know Primal Rage was one that they had arcade cabinets with the fucking dinosaurs you could play, like the monkey and like the T-Rex type guy.
Oh man, this one is called The Killers.
The Killers.
And I just see like a guy with a chainsaw like chopping a motherfucking guy up. Never heard of this before.
Wow, that's interesting. Yeah, that's a new one for me.
It's a fighting game brought to you by the incredible technologies that the same people that make Golden Tee. And it was a weapon.
Golden Tee? Is that like a fucking golf game?
Yeah.
What the hell?
The one with the roller ball.
What? Yeah. The one that's in bars to this day?
To this day.
Is this in bars to this day? Can I play this?
No, I don't think this.
Man, can you just remember people?
It was Nintendo Sega Genesis. It didn't go so well. It actually reviewed by Electronic Gaming Monthly 6 months before it launched. and the poor marks caused THQ to shit can the actually finished product.
Wow, actually
so
shit can.
It never made it. They said eat shit and die, and then it
Damn.
just died.
That should have been the name slogan. Eat shit and die.
Tattoo Assassins.
That one sounds familiar, actually.
It's got like naked girls on it.
Okay, never mind. That sounds like it should have been familiar for me.
I wonder if it should have been.
I never got released, probably.
Oh shit, they had nuditalities.
What?
It stripped down competitors, and they covered up their private still. But
what
they
kind
were
of
called
shit is that?
nuditalities. Nudalities.
Nudalities.
Wow, that's insane.
But they didn't show anything, so that's really disappointing. You remember like those BMX games, like Triple X BMX, like when those came out and people were like, "Oh my god!"
Defeated opponents would turn into barely recognizable digitized images of Elvis Presley, a sea lion, a car, or a knight in shining armor.
What? Those were the nudalities?
No, they have nudalities were when they get naked. They turn naked, but they also can turn into.
Remember Clay Fighter?
Primal Rage. You're right. Oh yeah, Clay Fighter was awesome.
Yeah, that was a good one. And then they had Celebrity Deathmatch. They actually had a fighting game for that too. It was garbage, but
it looked like garbage.
It was terrible. The show was amazing though. That was a great show. I remember watching Celebrity Deathmatch at my grandma's house, and just like, because we didn't have MTV at my house, or our house, I guess I could say. That was always awesome, seeing Marilyn Manson just massacre everybody.
I love that show. I used to love those days.
Yeah, so exciting. I don't get excited about shows like that anymore. I guess it's so exposed I can watch whatever I want, whenever. You kind of lose that mystique, kind of what we're talking about.
I remember seeing like commercials for things that were going to be on TV, like movies I wanted to see like later in the week. And then
you're like, oh, I can't wait. Yeah, don't have that mystique anymore. It's kind of sad.
It's all gone. Yeah, I can't find it. Oh well.
Oh, you couldn't find the Sega one?
Yeah, I couldn't find the rip-off game.
Oh, okay.
I found a bunch of rip-off games, but it's just not in there.
Not the same. Yeah. It was Sega. If you look up Sega Genesis Mortal Kombat clone, I bet you can find it pretty quickly.
Okay, that's alright.
Yeah, I can think of the title. I can like imagine the screen of like the box art, because I remember the guy that looked like, what was the guy? Yeah, he's from the guy on Reading Rainbow that was in Star Trek. I can't think of his name though. I had the little visor. He looked just like that guy.
Yeah, he had a blue jumpsuit on.
Yeah. There's all kinds of wacky characters from different timelines and stuff like that. And I think it had like the traditional boss battle, like the final boss, but it was the stage fatalities that were like really cool and just like you had to figure it out.
Here's one with a girl that like light her fart on fire and flame killed somebody.
Oh shit! Is this the same one? What is that?
We got Bloodstorm, Primal Rage.
Bloodstorm.
Look at this shit, bro. Straight up fart flamethrower kill.
Oh man, that is brutal.
The fuck. 3D balls. The battle of balls. That's just polygons fighting, bro.
That sounds awful, dude.
Then we got one called
Eternal Champions. That's the name.
Ninja. It's on Atari.
Eternal Champions, bro. Look that one up.
He shoots a fireball out from under his kilt.
Oh, I've seen that before. Look up Eternal Champions, bro. That's the game. Okay. This is the game that we're looking for.
That is it.
Yeah. Yep. You got this lion-looking guy with a club on the front. There's, of course, the visor-looking guy, and then there's a chick in the back and some other characters in the back.
Man, I'm gonna look at the selection screen and see if I
can let's see the characters.
Wow, there's literally like a Grim
There's
Reaper.
like a comic book of it too, it looks like.
There's like a chicken and an owl.
I don't remember those.
I don't either.
It's been a while since I played it though. It's been like years.
Oh, they got the trident, like the fish guy, remember?
Oh, I do remember him. He was kind of OP a little bit. I think I picked him a lot.
Yeah.
Like Aquaman type shit.
There's like a cowboy guy with a star, like a sheriff.
Sounds familiar. Like a cyber sheriff type thing.
Very cool.
Yeah. Classics.
Indeed,
yes. So, we end every episode with a dad joke.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know about this.
I know. That's why I'm kind of putting you on the spot. I don't know if you have one. If you don't have one, that's totally fine. I can sub. Usually Jack does the dad jokes, but Jack is currently MIA. So.
Oh man, I thought I was thinking of a dad joke earlier that I heard.
Neither one of us are dads, as far as we know, just so you guys know. So, if you don't have one, I got one. You want me to throw one at you?
Fire one off, and I'll see what I can do in the meantime.
All right. So, this isn't really a joke that you got to set up, so I'm just going to say it. Sundays are always a little sad, but the day before is a Saturday.
Oh, snap.
You like it? Was that good?
Yeah.
You got one here to play us out here?
What musical instrument is found in the bathroom?
What?
A tuba toothpaste.
Oh, I was going to say tuba. Nice. All right.
All right. Dad jokes.
Yeah.
You've been listening to Mind Hops. Make sure to like, rate, and review, and we'll be back soon. But in the meantime, follow us on Twitter at Mind Hops. From there, you can get updates and submit questions for upcoming shows. Thank you for listening, and see you next time.